So this movie was really interesting because it had a bit of mystery to it where they were trying to figure something out. And then it also had this other subplot about somebody who hated their house, which there's something from the very beginning where Simone says, "I hate this kitchen." And it was like, what? What was that about? Why did you just throw that in? So obviously it was setting up the storyline, but it still caught me, just made me question my sanity that I had missed something that she had said leading up to that. Actually, I had to rewind it and see what happened that made her say that. Nothing. Nothing happened. She just said it. So she found the card at Thanksgiving, and then but she was leaving and going back home at Christmas. So, or right after Christmas. So she had to figure it out by Christmas. Otherwise, she probably would never figure it out. So I assume that's the open by Christmas part. Nikki remembering her high school and how she didn't feel like she had a lot of friends and that people didn't think very highly of her and being embarrassed. That all resonated with me because I felt that way, I'm sure. And as Simone points out, everybody felt that way. Even looking back, though, it's hard to realize that the people that seemed so popular to you were also dealing with the same insecurities that you were dealing with. But it sounds like everybody had very similar experience, I assume, unless you were like, you knew you were the popular kids. I assume they had a different experience, but maybe not. Maybe we were all in the exact same place. Themes of this movie are letting go of the past so that you can embrace a new future. Both Nikki and Simone are dealing with that. Nikki is dealing with letting go of the insecurities that she felt back in high school. She's trying to strive to be the person that she really is as an adult, even when she goes back to her hometown. And Simone is having to realize that her little boy is grown up and he's 15 years old and doesn't do Santa pictures and that sort of thing, and they're in a different phase. And she can enjoy him as a teenager, enjoy getting to know him and start forging that friendship with him. So they both have to let go of the past to embrace the present and move on to a satisfying future. While they were standing at the painting, I caught that Derek recognized Nikki. I couldn't put it together, though, so as to why she wouldn't have thought of him in her list. So that was really interesting. But yeah, the moment I saw the spark and I knew that he was the guy, I just couldn't figure out how he was going to be the guy. And speaking of the painting, he was unnecessarily rude, though, when he said, we need to elevate this place. He could have just explained that they don't want family photos because buyers want to imagine themselves into a house. He didn't have to say elevate the place, but, different topic. But yeah, I was rooting for the couple. The sequence of events felt very natural and progressed, and I didn't feel like I was jumping all over the place. So that was just as expected. There's nothing really more to say about that. The one major plot hole I've got is where they were so excited to see Jeremy's condo. They loved the pictures, and it seemed like that was probably going to be what they ended up buying. But then they ended up making an offer on a different house, so it feels like them bringing in the Jeremy's condo part of the story was just so that Nikki could see the house early. So that felt inconsistent, I guess, because I really expected them to go into that path. Nikki reminds me of myself. There were several points where it just felt like it was something I could have said or things that I deal with. I identified with her very, very closely. The fact that Nikki sees herself differently is a huge part of the plot of the entire movie. She cannot see herself as the accomplished person that everyone else sees. She just gives of herself and tries to make things better for everyone, and she can't see that. She doesn't see that other people appreciate that about her. I definitely think that Nikki is a 7. 7s are the enthusiasts, and they find a silver lining to everything, and they brainstorm and that sort of thing and try to find a way out, and they only look at the positive side. They try to reject the negative side. So there were not several. I guess there was one major part where I was just like, she's a 7, and I happened to see that in the movie. So I love that this question came up because she's a 7, I'm pretty sure. And then Simone, I'm thinking maybe a 2, the helper. That feels correct. I struggle with her a little more. I feel like the helper. Yeah. No, there were lots of questions left unanswered. Is she going to move back home and work from her old, her old hometown? Or are they going to try long distance for a while and then she'll move back if it works out? And then on Simone's side, is her new mother-in-law, is that relationship going to stick? This movie is set up for the perfect sequel of The Wedding, because that would involve everybody, and it's a story that they already started in this story. A continuation of this story. This movie really hit home to me the fact that high school isn't really how we remember it, and if we can just grab hold of those good memories and even possibly try to figure out how the bad memories are actually good memories, then maybe we can let go of that. I don't know why high school has a pull on us even when we are well into adult years. It only lasts for 4 years, but I guess because of the time that it is, that's why it's so important in how we shape ourselves. So that's the big thing, I guess, to just that high school was not as bad as we remember it. My favorite quote from this movie, or my favorite scene, my favorite line, whatever. My favorite line, we'll say. Nobody knows if Yvette is on a starvation diet or allergic to food that actually tastes good. It's such a catty thing to say, but I thought that was really funny. So another really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'll see you next time. Let's try and make that thumbnail. Got my card. He's so cool. Got my card.